Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or for making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. This is a special bonus reading all about your quantum jump, the idea that you create your own reality with every decision that you make, and a knowing decision that you are going to up-level your life and literally step into a new version of you. So Spirit wanted me to do these readings specifically with that theme in mind. I'm gonna show you this beautiful Super 7 crystal. It's called Super 7 because it has 7 different elements inside of it. It's one of the oldest crystals in my collection, and it's for psychic harnessing, the quantum realm, and the violet flame. So wanted to show, it's one of the oldest ones in my collection, and it's so special to me. And I don't use it very often for tarot, but I wanted to have it on my desk today for your reading. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today: Time Traveler's Oracle by Denise Lynn for the overall energy, and the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann for the tarot reading. So cards have been pre-shuffled. For Capricorn, please. Thank you. Wow. Number 40, which reduces to a 4, the Emperor card in the Major Arcana. The word is transformation, the Rumi of Persia. Rumi of Persia, transformation. It's really beautiful. I'm really fixated actually on the moonlight coming through the window. Almost like you yourself are doing some kind of spiritual dance. Dance seems important, or movement of the body seems very important, that you are perhaps, maybe you're doing yoga. I know a Capricorn in particular. But you could also be exercising, you could be dancing, you could be just Spirit just wanted me to say, get the juices flowing, right? Get the blood pumping. That there's some, maybe it's a physical transformation, but it's also a spiritual, emotional transformation that you're going through at this time. And some of it might be kind of mysterious to you as to how it's affecting your life, like how it's working on you. Or why you feel compelled to do it is rather what I want to say. So some of you could be really being in touch with your body right now in terms of understanding things that are happening within you. So if, as we get older, we start to notice some parts of our body are just not functioning in the way that they used to. And it's only when things aren't working like they should be that we notice that there's something wrong, right? Or that we then have to address it. Spirit is actually showing me this example of I don't even know, maybe it was 6 months ago. I was opening one of the doors at work, and somebody was opening it at the same time from the other side, and kind of shoved the door into my hand, and especially my thumb. And it hurt, it hurt. But it jammed it. And it's fine, but every once in a while, it clicks. There's like a clicking to it. and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't massage it away. I don't know if it was a small, teeny tiny fracture that just healed wrong, but now in that joint, forevermore, there will be this clicking noise, and it will bring me right back to that memory of when that happened. Sometimes we don't understand when something happened. Sometimes it can just happen overnight that we just can't get up out of a chair the way that we used to, right? And so you're kind of understanding, or maybe you're just being more in tune with the new version of you. And maybe you're taking steps to transform yourself into the best version that you can be at whatever age you find yourself in, right? So there's something to it. There's something about physical movement, that's for sure. But some of it feels mysterious, like you're still discovering, right? For me, I'll just use myself as an example. Like, I'm of the age of like perimenopause and menopause. And women, unfortunately, just have such a varied response to how our bodies react during these phases of life that it's difficult to just say, oh, that symptom is perimenopause. It's like, who's to say, really? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I have trouble reading up close in a certain way, and then the next day it'll be fine, but I'll notice it. It's just like, when does this happen, right? So there could be just you, one, being patient, right, with yourself, that you could recognize that you're going through a process of transformation, and that's not always easy, and you don't always have the answers. So I'm gonna pull 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. Some of your spirit guides just came in. They just muted my ear. Maybe to influence, you know, they came in right before, they did this in the Virgo reading, I think it was Virgo reading. They came in right as I was shuffling the cards. Spirit came right in. 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and advice from Spirit. You got some similar cards to the other earth signs, and I've thoroughly shuffled this deck. But it could be just something that your element is going through right now. Yes. If you have Virgo or Taurus placements, you may want to watch major placements like moon. Yeah, maybe Spirit saying watch your moon sign reading, whatever your moon sign is. For Capricorn, please. For Capricorn. For Capricorn, in the past position, Queen of Emotions, Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. This card is really beautiful because I just heard the words bloom, bloom where you're planted. Bloom where you're planted. So it's almost like I see all these kind of growth, but it's like underwater growth, right? So in the tarot, the cups energy or emotions talks about love, friendship, family, romantic, familial, platonic love, compassion, kindness, empathy, all the ooey gooey things. And the watery realms could also talk about the subconscious. So it's almost like in your past energy, you're starting to recognize, right? Because Capricorn, it's not your default to talk about your emotions, to live in your emotions. It's just not your default. But in the past energy, I feel as though you're coming, maybe that's part of your transformation too, which is the somatic, Spirit just said somatic, somatic practices. They're physical practices that allow you to tap into the emotional body, to release emotions that are trapped in the body, in our joints, in our muscles. Right? A lot of somatic exercise, I believe, involves the hips, that we store a lot of trauma. Everybody, this is not just women or, you know, men or whatever in particular, like everybody stores a lot of trauma in their hips. Now, where you feel stress is different. People feel stress in their stomach, in their shoulders, in their back. But it's this sense of understanding the emotions, where the emotions reside in the physical body, right? And then allowing that to release so that growth can happen. Maturity can be like a metaphorical growth, or it can be physical, a physical growth of muscles, muscle mass, growth of strength. But once that growth occurs, growth of love, the queen of emotions is the kind of person that is generous and wants to share that love and wants to allow others to feel that sense of love that they feel as well. So that's a really beautiful energy. It is clarified by the Knight of Inspiration in reverse. I like to see it. I'm not a big fan of the Knight of Inspiration because, I mean, he has his, I mean, it's not gender specific. But the Knights always bring messages. And the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Inspiration is like somebody who's like fast talker, smooth talker, very slick, very seductive, very alluring, very charismatic, but kind of a flash in the pan, here today, gone tomorrow. And this card is in reverse for you. So kind of, it's not to say we want to tame the wild beast, but I think there's like an evaluation happening on your part of really recognizing what's important to you and planning for the future, which Capricorns do very well. That's what you do, which is planning for the future. But it's almost as if now you're not just looking at the practical side of planning, but that you're also planning for your kind of emotional well-being. I have a clarifier for the Knight of Inspiration in reverse. Okay, thank you, Spirit. It's the Seven of Inspiration. Something that you've really worked hard to overcome. And you're letting the light in where there was shadow before. It's very important. Right? There is a fear, though. There is a fear that things could collapse in on themselves. But I do see you being determined, right? And here, this character is Bear. So it suggests vulnerability on your part. That's actually the key to be able to be generous with your love. Just to be vulnerable. That could be difficult for you. But I see you trying, which is good. In the present energy, Two of Inspiration in the reverse. Two of Inspiration in the upright talks about directionality. Which way are we headed? It's a vast world out there, and I have a lot of choices that I could make. But with the card in reverse, it shows me that you've made that choice. You might not be feeling the most confident about it, though. Queen of Inspiration in the reverse, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands knows exactly who she is, knows what her appeal is, sexual appeal, financial appeal. She knows who she is, right? It's just divine feminine energy. Again, not talking about gender, but in the reverse, there could be frustration, a lack of confidence, a lack of awareness of just how spectacular we are. So it's almost like, okay, I made my decision, but I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can follow through. You're having that hesitation with whatever is happening in your present circumstances. Like you've made a decision. That's not the issue. The issue is, can I make it work? Do I have what it takes to make it work? Magician in reverse, Eight of Materials in reverse. You are really having a lot of doubt, lots of doubt. Magician is the number 1 in the major arcana. I think this maybe the second time this has shown up in this series of readings. Maybe. Magician has the power of all 4 suits of the tarot. All 4 suits, understanding how to manifest using what we have available to us, recognizing what those things are in the first place. The master manifester. Part of that manifestation is having a clear vision. Part of that manifestation is having confidence and believing that you will get everything that you want. The card is in reverse along with the 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Materials. This talks about hard work, diligence, dedication, and investment. Maybe you don't have what you need to invest in something, or maybe you think you don't have it. But Spirit wanted me to say your focus could be very narrow, right? It's like all this blank canvas, and it's just a really narrow window. Maybe you don't feel like you have a choice in that. Maybe the window is narrow due to circumstances outside of your control, which makes sense, and I understand that. But Spirit wants me to reiterate to you that your world is as narrow as you believe it to be. They're showing me the quote, which I always butcher, from Hamlet, right? I could be bounded in a nutshell and consider myself a king of infinite space. Actually, I think that is the quote. I may be bounded in a nutshell and consider myself a king of infinite space. If I make the determination that I am a king in this little nutshell, then it shall be so. So Spirit is saying, the Magician showed up for a reason. You have the ability to inhabit the Magician energy. Clearly. Because of, like, look at all the things you've accomplished already. I always tell people that. I tell myself that. Because sometimes it's hard to get over yourself, get over your own fears, right? I have to remind myself and, like, look at all the things I've accomplished, that I've succeeded in, that I've overcome challenges, and I'm still here, right? You're still here. You've accomplished so much already. You have this power within you. But right now you may not, Spirit honked on the horn, right? To agree with me. But right now you don't feel as though you do. This is 3 cards of telling me I don't feel confident and I don't feel like I have what it takes. But I know what I want. That's step number 1. I know which direction I want to move into. Why, you know? A little bit of the future energy will enlighten us. 3 of Voices, 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords is the heartbreak card. It's the isolation card, the sadness, the disappointment, feeling alone, hurt, frustrated, confused, sense of abandonment. And it's in reverse. So this is the reason you've been so hurt and betrayed in your past that It's like you're at like the bottom level. But if you're at the bottom level, the only way to move is up, right? You're stuck there. And your future energy shows me that you're going to continue. This is just a pulse on what's going on in the moment that you watch this reading. These readings are timeless. You watch this in 10 years, it's pertinent to your present moment, wherever you may be. You are stuck in this energy of hurt, and maybe you have good reason, right? Queen of Materials in reverse to clarify that. That's your energy, Capricorn. Materials, the earth element, in reverse. You don't feel like you have anything left to give. Maybe everything you had, you felt was taken away from you. You are really trying, though, to love yourself. I can see that. And it's working. But there's still some issues, trauma, you know, I'm just going to come out and say it, that you really need to look at, look at it. See how, when it's in the upright, she's like bursting through and she's looking straight ahead, looking at it. When you look at it more clearly, you can see there's so many ways you get out from behind this door. There's so much room. There's so much room to move. But if you stay seated and you just stay there, all you're going to see in your vantage point is shadow. And I have a clarifier on the 3 of Voices in reverse. The 10 of Emotions in reverse, yeah. You know, like not... It's almost like you thought that you had it all, and then you realized that you didn't. And that's so disappointing to you. But Spirit kind of wants me to say that, like, not all is lost, Capricorn. There's this process that's happening right now where you are regaining control over your circumstances in your life. But it's like an emotional, mental game. And part of you knows that, right? Because the Queen of Emotions showed up in your past. Like, you know that. You're just a little bummed right now. But it doesn't mean that you aren't actually beautiful, attractive, charismatic, powerful. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to manifest. You've proven it already. Look at what's around. Look at the world around you through a different lens. Like, if I were to come into your life and I don't know you and I just like look at your life, you know, maybe you have a car that's slightly older. Maybe it's like 5 years old, 10 years old. I don't drive. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I don't have a license. That's the story for another day, or never. I look at somebody with a car, like you look at your own car and say it's a jalopy. It's 10 years old. It's on its last leg. I don't have the money for a new car. I look at your car and say, oh my God, that's so awesome that you have a car. Let's get in. Let's go for a ride. Let's go on a road trip. We can go anywhere because you have a car, right? If I were to step into your life and choose to look at your life with optimism and gratitude, I bet you anything, you would see it differently. You would see it how I see it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is something that I have to do with myself all the time. Sometimes I feel super bummed out. even with my connection with spirit, which is really beautiful and intimate and amazing. It's amazing. I have so many blessings. If I started to count my blessings, I would run out of numbers. But I still get bummed. I'm a double water sign. Forget it. Like, it's just like the emotions are right here all the time. Right here. I have to tell myself these things too. Right? So start from a place of gratitude. Even if it's begrudgingly. Even if it's begrudgingly. Because that's what's going to help you lift yourself up and out of this energy. What is advice from spirit? Well, 6 of voices, 7 of emotions, 6 of swords, 7 of cups. Moving past that chaotic energy into a brighter space where there's an abundance of choices. You could feel like you're just on some kind of destined path, and that, like, that's just what you're gonna do. This is just who I am. This is just what I have. This is just, it's just very complacent. And spirit is saying, no, it's time to move. It's time to move away from the chaos, even if it's just in your mind. You're gonna have so much come towards you that you need to have a clear head. So many opportunities. That's what 7 of emotions is all about. Being spoiled for choice. How are you going to know what to choose if your head is all jumbled? Right? All of these good things. You want to have a clear head about it. Part of that, I'm just going to come back to it again because Spirit really wants me to hone in on this the physicality of your existence at the moment. If you're not physically active, Spirit is saying, get up and go for a walk today. Take a swim, right? Just lift some light weights. Go for a run if you're able. Be in nature. Do something with your body. Because the more you do, the more you're going to like it. And I never thought I'd be the one to say that, but you know, I've said on the channel that I just started Pilates like a couple months ago, and I thought my friend who suggested it, that we do it together, I thought she was crazy. I was like, I've never been to a gym, and I don't intend to go to a gym, and that's not my thing. I'm not like that. And then I went to Pilates. I loved it. I bought a membership. I've been going back ever since. You know, I don't do it, I only do it once a week because I also know what my capacity is. In the future, I have the right to change my mind and go 2 times a week. But once I started doing it, I started to crave it because it feels good. It feels good to move the body. Let me get a clarifier I want a clarifier for the 7 of emotions, please, Spirit. What are all these things that are coming in? Ooh! Lots of cards came down. But these 2 came in the upright. In the face up, rather. Queen of Voices and the Justice card. Major Arcana, Libra energy. Number 11. All these choices, finally, it's almost like karma. You repaid your karma, and look, this transformation, look at the transformation energy here, right? New version of you, that quantum up-leveling is burgeoning. You're on the precipice. Queen of Voices, the truth is gonna come out. The truth will set you free, I just heard. I don't necessarily think it's like other people's truths. I think it has to do with this heartbreak card and being honest with yourself about what is at the heart of your anger, disappointment, or sadness. And ultimately, can you find a space to forgive yourself? That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.